Just jump! You'll never know unless you try!
Mr. Tom stood beside a gaping hole in the 3rd floor of Ivy House, looking down at the cold emptiness below. He was trying to get me to jump out of the trap door that I'd first discovered almost 30 years ago when I visited Ivy House as a kid. Staring down from that height had given me a sense of foreboding way back in the day. And at the time, no one had been pressuring me to jump out of it in the hope a pair of magical wings I wasn't positive I had would snap out of my back and save me before I went splat.
Neve is circling just out of sight.
Mr. Tom motioned me forward. Frigid air blasted through the opening and tousled his stringy comb-over. He grimaced and smoothed the gray strands across his scalp. As a protector of Ivy House, he'd gotten the strength and vitality of youth when I accepted the magic. But he hadn't received any visual benefit, including growing back his hair. I'd made that choice for him, and for the other protectors, Neve and Edgar and Austin, by deciding to keep my own appearance. And I'd learned pretty quickly that it was a point of contention for some of the others, mainly Mr. Tom.
Okay, but are we sure she's waiting down there?
The house has put out a summons to its protectors, insisting that we support you in your training. She will circle until called off. Ivy House will make it so.
Except Austin didn't show up.
Yes, he clearly has incredible willpower.
I shook my head, staring down at the green grass and the small shape of Edgar, his arms raised.
Edgar can't possibly think he could catch me from this high of a drop.
He's not playing with a full deck of cards. The magic returned his strength and prowess, but there is only so much magic can do for the mind. That vampire only has one oar in the water, so to speak.
As if Mr. Tom could talk. Tom wasn't even his real name. He'd made it up when he first met me. I didn't even want to get started on his habit of naming weapons and his absolute refusal to let me burn down the doll room. Mr. Tom was clutching to reality with nothing but his fingernails.
I need a drink.
Nonsense. Drinking is for the weak. You don't want to turn out like that wretched woman, do you? Reduced to throwing rocks at strangers and forcing dry sandwiches on unsuspecting folk?
He meant Neve. The two didn't see eye to eye on many things. Or anything, really.
No, you will jump. Your logic will deduce that you need to fly in order to save yourself, and thus your wings will extend from your back.
Uh-huh. I edged forward, the cold wind creeping along my bare arms. My shirt did little more than cover my front, looping around my neck and upper waist, exposing my back so that my wings wouldn't be hindered, presuming I had any.
Using them will be as natural as you please. I never told you, but I was a late bloomer. It took me forever to get up the willpower to attempt flight. Finally, my father just threw me off the edge of the cliff. All I needed was a little shove.
Your wings just knew what to do?
Well, no, at first I couldn't quite get them to work in sync, so I accidentally careened back into the cliff face and eventually spiraled down into the water. But on the 3rd try I had it. Nothing to it.
My flat stare wiped the supportive smile off his face. He patted my shoulder.
Your wings will be dainty. Much easier to control.
My body shook, and I wasn't sure if it was because of the cold or because of the fear.
Just because you are trying a new thing doesn't mean you need to let go of what you've already learned. You should not feel the cold, remember?
Barely having to think about it, I reached for the heat deep in my gut and pulled it out until it covered my body. As Mr. Tom had promised, learning this magic had so far been second nature. Edgar would read instructions from an ancient volume only he seemed to be able to decipher, and barely at that. And the knowledge would burst forth as though it had been tucked in my brain all along. Sometimes it was even easier. I'd just think about something, and without knowing how, make it happen. My situation wasn't exactly a science at this point. Edgar said the recall ability had been built into the magical transfer because there were often large time gaps between the chosen, and it wasn't a given there'd be anyone around to train the new heir. So why hadn't I already jumped? According to Edgar, certain higher-level abilities would be much more difficult to master. No one knew